sweetest banga rice in the whole of Delta State. But what is her secret ingredient? Let's find out.
Story by Prexia Storytime. In a small village in Delta State, there was a woman everybody loved, Madam Sophia. She was plump, very beautiful, and always smiling. Her skin shined like oil under the hot sun. She sold bonga rice, and everyone said her food was the sweetest in the whole area. Every day, people filled her shop. The smell of her food would travel far, even to the next street. Madam Sophia, this your rice too sweet, the villagers always said. She would smile and laugh softly. No God hand dey my food, she would answer. Even when the market was quiet, her store was always full. Some people used their last money just to buy one small plate. Other rice sellers began to complain. This woman must be using juju, one said. No food fits sweet like that on its own, another added. But no one could prove anything. Sophia was loved by everyone. Even the village chief came to eat from her shop. Still, something about her was strange. No one had ever seen her eat her own rice. When people asked why, she just said, I don't like rice. She had two young girls helping her, Zainab and Halima. They helped fetch water and serve customers. Halima was quiet and shy. Zainab was sharp and curious. She liked to ask questions about everything. One afternoon, Zainab noticed something odd. Whenever she cleaned the big pot, she saw red marks inside it, like stains that refused to wash away. She told Halima, but Halima said, forget it. Maybe it's just palm oil. But Zainab's heart didn't rest. She also noticed that every morning, the pot was already hot before Sophia even started cooking. And when Sophia stirred the rice, she whispered words under her breath. One evening, after all the customers had gone, Sophia told them, you girls should go home early today. I'll wash everything myself. Halima happily left, but Zainab paused. She had seen her madam do this before, sending them away early on certain nights. Her heart told her something was wrong. That night, she pretended to go home but hid behind the store. The moon was bright, and the market was quiet. Zainab waited, her heart beating fast. After some time, she saw Sophia come out again. The woman locked the door, lit a small lamp, and began to hum a slow song. Zainab peeped through a small hole in the wall. What she saw made her shiver. Sophia stood before the big black pot, whispering strange words. She pulled out her pad and squeezed it into the food. The rice inside turned darker, bubbling though there was no fire. Zainab gasped and covered her mouth quickly. She didn't want Sophia to hear her. The smell that came out of the pot was strong, sweet and strange at the same time. She ran away, shaking all over. She didn't sleep that night. The next morning, she didn't come to work. When Halima asked, Madam, where is Zainab? Sophia only smiled. Maybe she go visit her people, she said. But Halima's heart grew heavy. That same morning, the pot was already boiling again, even though no one had lit the stove. As days passed, people kept rushing to buy Sophia's food. They laughed, danced, and spent all their money at her store. Some even stopped eating from their wife's pot at home. But soon, strange things started to happen. People began to dream about eating bonga rice. In their dreams, they shouted, I want bonga rice, I want bonga rice, Sophia smiling at them, saying, eat, my child. When they woke up, they were weak, but hungry again for her food.
Rice.
Halima noticed that Sophia's eyes looked different now, shining red when the sun hit them. And sometimes, when she stirred the pot, Halima thought she saw faces in the rice, like people calling for help. One night, heavy rain fell. Halima couldn't sleep. She heard humming outside again, the same soft song. She looked out the window and saw a faint light coming from Sophia's store. Her fear couldn't hold her this time. She went quietly, her feet splashing through puddles. She reached the window and looked inside. Sophia was there, standing over the pot, both hands raised. The red cloth glowed in her hand. The pot bubbled loudly, even without fire. Sophia smiled and whispered, "Let them eat and remember me." Halima's breath caught. She stumbled backward, falling in the mud. Sophia turned sharply, as if she heard her. For a moment, their eyes met through the window. Halima ran as fast as she could, her heart pounding like drums. By morning, the rain had stopped. The sun rose softly over the village. Sophia's stall was already open. The sweet smell filled the air again. People lined up, happy as always. But on the wall beside her door, written in red oil, were 3 words no one could explain: the hunger lives. The village was quiet after Zainab disappeared. People still talked about her for a few days, then they forgot. The smell of Madame Sophia's food was too sweet to care about anything else. Halima tried to stay away from the store, but she couldn't. Sophia treated her kindly, always smiling and calling her my daughter. Sometimes Halima even wondered if she had only imagined what she saw that rainy night. But every evening, when the market went silent, Sophia's light still burned. One morning, a stranger came to the village. His name was Tomowa. He was from the city, tall and neat, with a gentle voice. He came to visit his uncle, the village priest. When he smelled the food from Sophia's stall, he smiled.
This aroma fit weak person
we don't die, he joked. He went to her shop, bought a plate and sat down. The first spoon touched his tongue, and his face changed. The food tasted too good, almost unreal. For a moment, he forgot where he was. He started eating at her shop every day. Sometimes he stayed just to talk with her. Sophia liked him too. She would laugh softly whenever he came. "You from city, but your heart still local," she told him one day. But soon Tomowa began to notice strange things. He saw the same people coming every day, even those who had no money. Some borrowed, some sold things just to buy food. And sometimes, after eating, their eyes would turn glassy, as if they were half asleep. One night, he walked past the market late. From afar, he saw Sophia's stall glowing faintly. He thought she had gone home, so he went closer. He heard her voice, soft, low, and humming. Then he saw her shadow through the wall, dancing slowly as she stirred her pot. Something about the way the light moved made his skin crawl. He quietly stepped back and left. The next morning, he told the priest, "Uncle, something about that woman is not normal." The priest frowned. "We have all felt it. But everyone is too afraid to talk. Hunger is a strong spirit, my son. When people find food that fills their soul, they no longer question how it's made." Tomowa decided to watch more carefully. One evening, he asked Halima about Zainab. The girl looked down, her hands shaking. Zainab saw something she shouldn't have, she whispered. After that night, she vanished. Madam said she left, but I don't believe it. Tomowa just wondered, became more curious. The moon was full, and the whole village slept. Tomowa hid quietly behind a mango tree near the market. Around midnight, Sophia came out wearing her red wrapper, carrying a small oil lamp. She looked around carefully, then walked toward the back of the market, where the bush met the stream. Tomowa followed slowly, his heart beating fast. At the stream, Sophia knelt down beside the water and began to chant strange words. The air grew cold, and the water started to glow faintly red. She opened a black cloth from under her wrapper and brought out a pad. She squeezed it over the water and smiled as the red drops touched the surface. "The river mother, bless my food," she whispered. "Let them eat and never stop." Tomowa's eyes widened in shock. He stepped on a dry stick, and it cracked loudly. Sophia froze. "Who's there?" she said sharply. Her eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Tomowa ducked behind a tree, holding his breath. Sophia looked around for a while, then laughed softly.
Curiosity will feed you too.
Curiosity will feed you too, she murmured, before walking away into the shadows. When she was gone, Tomowa ran to the priest's hut. "Uncle, she's doing something evil at the river," he said, trembling. The priest sat up, shocked.
Don't go near her again.
"Tomowa, don't go near her again.
Something the people can
We
see.
need proof, something the people can see." Tomowa nodded. "Then we'll get it." From that night, he and Halima began to plan secretly, watching every move Madame Sophia made. Neither of them knew it yet, but the night they caught her would change the village forever. The village had grown quiet. People still ate Madame Sophia's food, but whispers had begun to spread. Strange dreams, weak bodies, and shadows moving in the corners of the market. Tomowa couldn't rest. He knew there was more to the story. Each night, he watched Sophia's stall from a distance, seeing her enter and leave like a spirit. One morning, he met Halima near the stream. She looked pale and scared. Halima, Tomowa said softly, "You know something.
Tell me the truth.
Tell me the truth." Tears filled her eyes. "I saw her," she whispered.
She put something inside
She
the
put
rice.
something inside the
I saw it
rice.
with my own eyes.
I saw it with my own eyes. Tomowa's face hardened. "Can you prove
Can you
it?"
prove it?
Halima nodded slowly.
I can try.
"Yes, I can try." That night, Halima hid a small phone behind the cooking pot. Her hands shook as she pressed record. Sophia was humming again, her wrapper tight, sweat on her face. She opened a small black cloth from under the table. Inside was a used pad. Without hesitation, she squeezed the thick red blood into the bubbling bonga rice, her eyes half closed, smiling like someone possessed. Halima nearly screamed, but she stayed quiet until Sophia left. Then she grabbed the phone and ran to Tomowa's house, her heart racing. When Tomowa watched the video, he couldn't believe what he saw. "This woman is evil,"
This
he
woman
said.
is evil.
"We'll show the elders."
We'll show the elders.
The next day, the elders of the village and a few brave men planned carefully. "Tonight, we catch her," the oldest man said. That night, they hid behind the stalls, holding lamps and sticks. The moonlight shone faintly as Sophia began her midnight ritual. She brought out her pad, humming as usual, and whispered, "Let them never stop eating." "Now!" Tomowa shouted. They rushed in and grabbed her. Sophia screamed and tried to run, but they surrounded her. The video was played before everyone, the villagers gasped in horror. "You think you can shame me?" she shouted, her voice shaking. "Without me, all of you will starve." They forced her to carry her pot of rice on her head. The whole village followed, shouting and throwing sand. "Witch! Evil woman! Give us back our peace." Tears ran down Sophia's face as she cried out, "Bonga rice! Come and buy bonga rice." But her voice was no longer sweet, it was filled with pain and regret. At the village square, she fell to her knees. The elders demanded the truth. "I wanted to be the best," she cried. "I wanted everyone to love my food. So I went to the river goddess. She told me to feed the people with my blood, to make them hunger for me. I obeyed her. I killed Zainab because she found out. Please, forgive me." The crowd shouted angrily. The chief raised his hand. "You are no longer welcome here. From this day, you are banished from Delta State. Never return." Sophia was dragged to the edge of the village. She turned once more, her eyes filled with tears and hate.
You can
chase me away," she said, "but you can't chase hunger. It will always find someone new." Then she disappeared into the forest, her pot still steaming. Weeks passed. The market was quiet again. No one wanted to eat bonga rice anymore. Even the smell made people shiver. But Halima refused to live in fear. She opened her own store, clean and bright. "This rice is pure," she told them. Slowly, people began to trust her. Her food became famous, not because of magic, but because of her hard work and heart. Tomowa stayed for a few more days, helping her clean the shop. When he finally left for the city, he looked back at the market and smiled faintly. He had saved the village from the curse. But some nights, travelers passing through the next town said they saw a woman selling rice by the roadside, plump, dark-skinned, with a yellow wrapper and a sweet, strange smile shouting by Bongo rice. When they asked her name, she simply said, "Call me Madam Sophia." Thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, follow, comment and share for more African Tales stories.